Hey, this is Wesley Smith with Tree Service Digital and Tree Service Marketing Profits Podcast. Thanks for joining us for another episode. If you're on YouTube watching this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots more content coming, more expert interviews with $1 million plus tree companies and other people associated with the tree service industry. If you're on the podcast listening to the audio, then go ahead and subscribe to us on the podcast of your choice. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the major podcasts. So I want to get right into it. So today, I want to talk about the mindset of a business owner and why this is important for your business and kind of what to look for, things that you have to embrace as a business owner if you ever want to grow your business, right? And we've got to do the same thing in our business, right? With serving, well over 60 tree service businesses across the country, we've had to embrace growth and embrace allowing other people to do things in the business that's going to serve our clients at the best of our ability, right? So these are things that we're doing too. And so I just wanted to do a quick podcast episode. Mindset's super important too when you're a business owner because there's a lot of things that you need to make changes on consistently, things that are going to pop up that you're going to need to make changes on that, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you just got to do it, right? You got to embrace change in your business. So let's kind of get into some of the main key points here. Number one, under the mindset of a business owner is you just can't do everything yourself, right? And it's going to start that way. I mean, you're going to be the guy doing the work, scheduling the estimates, doing the paperwork, doing the invoicing, doing the cleanup, getting the trucks repaired, getting the trucks, cleaned out, getting the trucks ready for jobs, hiring people, doing interviews. All of these things are going to fall under your umbrella when you first get started, right? It's going to be your responsibility because you're the business owner. You're the whole thing, right? And everybody kind of starts that way, unless you're, a deep pocket person that just wants to invest in a business or start hiring people. But when you first get started, this is just going to be the way it is, right? You got to just, get going and build that momentum. And as you do, start handing off things that other folks can do. And a lot of times other people can do things better than even you, right? And that's hard to believe. But I've embraced this over the decade or so. I've been in business for myself. And so other people can do things better than you do. And so you can't do everything yourself. Just remember that. Like if you're the one truck, one crew company, that's how you start. And that's how you got to get going. You're building your client base. You're building the momentum. You're getting your name out there. You're getting the word out there. People are starting to know who your tree service business is, or any kind of business for that matter. This really kind of goes for any type of business. But you're doing everything yourself. If you do want to grow, there's going to be a certain point in your business. And maybe you're thinking to yourself right now, I'm at that point, right? Like we're doing work, but I've got 10 more jobs to do, or I've got 10 more calls that came in today for new people that want new estimates. Like, how am I going to do this? I'm booked out a month, 2 months, 3 months already, right? So you can't do everything yourself, number one. You've just got to kind of understand that. Just let that sink in that you just can't do everything yourself. And you might think to yourself, I'm the only one that can do this, right? I'm the only one that's going to be able to do this. Like nobody's going to be able to do this. That's just simply not true. And you've got to get out of that thinking to, let things go to kind of grow your business. So that kind of gets right into the number 2 bullet point here is you have to let go of things that take up a lot of your time to grow your business. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of different things in your business that have to be done if you want to do it the right way, right? You want to clean up professionally after every tree job. You don't want to leave debris in people's yards, leave logs on the street for too long of a period of time. And if you have to do all of this yourself, those are things that are keeping you away from going on new jobs because you've got to go back with the loader and go pick up the logs, or you got to go clean up or come back another day and do the debris cleanup, whatever. If you had crews and you had people and you were, outsourcing that, letting other people do these things in your business, then it would allow you to go create more relationships, go see more clients on estimates, be the salesperson in your business type thing, right? Instead of being the guy on the job every single time. And it's going to start that way again. But if you get to that point where you're overwhelmed and overloaded with work, you've got to start getting comfortable being uncomfortable, right? You got to start letting other people do things for you that are going to help you out. And man, it's a big change when it happens. It's really kind of a sigh of relief, right? Other people can do things to help me out where I don't have to do all of this work every single day. So you have to let go of things to grow. And there are people out there that are capable of doing what you need them to do for your business, right? That's just all there is to it. There's other people that can do what you're doing and sometimes even better. So you have to let go of things to grow, right? That's number two. And so that's just really, that could be anything from, gosh, I'm doing my own Google ads. And this is not just about marketing. This is about every little thing. I'm calling customers and scheduling appointments and estimates and rescheduling. And I'm having to follow up with people to collect the bills. I'm having to do all of the database entries. Like every time I get a client that comes in or an estimate or an invoice or an appointment, I'm having to enter that into my database. I'm having to do this or do that. It's just so much to do, right? Bookkeeping, accounting, you name it. It's endless when you're in business for yourself, right? It's totally endless. So that gets me into number three. So if you really want to grow your business and you start thinking about how many clients and customers you're touching daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, it is just astounding at how many contacts you could have in a database, right, for your business that is an asset that just continues to grow day after day, week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter, every single year, because you're entering every single new appointment you get for an estimate and customers and everything, everybody you've invoiced, you're entering them all into a database that's going to enable you to build a fence around your customer database, right? They're going to hear from you. So when you build a database, you can now communicate to that set of contacts monthly with a newsletter email, or you can text them or you can call them. You'll just simply have them in your database. And on top of that, when somebody does call you down the road, maybe they call 5 months down the road for another tree job or a land clearing project or trimming the other set of trees they didn't do prior the first time you came out, you're going to have notes in your database that says, hey, we visited, John Jones' house. We trimmed 3 of his trees on the right side of his house over there. Now he wants to do these other ones. So you're kind of going to remember what you did for that client. Because otherwise you're not going to have that yellow piece of notebook paper on your pad that you had in the truck 5 months ago still handy to pull up the notes for that particular customer, more than likely, right? I mean, if you do, kudos to you, keep it up with those yellow notepads. Like I have one right now. You can see mine. So I write on mine, but I don't keep everything there, right? So you have to have a database for your business. And so some of those examples are Arbostar. I did a great review. Is Arbostar right for my business on this podcast? It's on the YouTube channel. If you want to look it up, is Arbostar right for my business, or look up Arbostar reviews. You'll see my video right there. And that's a great database because it's scalable. You can start small if you're only a few employees, and you can move your way up. They don't have to start you at like a minimum or like a flat fee that just a one size fits all. You can start at a minimum. Arbostar, there's Arbor Gold, there's Single Ops, there's Jobber, as an entry level one. So anything you can do to build that database of your customers, because here's the thing, you're serving so many dozens and dozens and dozens of customers a month, that builds up over a year, 2 years, 5 years. You imagine 5 years down the road, if you put every single appointment that you went on, every single estimate, every single customer is in your database. After 5 years, that could be like 5,000. That could be like 3,000, 5,000, 8,000 contacts, depending on what kind of volume you're doing in your tree business. So it's a big missed opportunity if you're not entering everybody into your database as a tree service business, or any business for that matter. If you're seeing this on the YouTube channel and you're a different type of anything, it doesn't matter. But building a database of your customers and people that know your brand that you've went out on an estimate for, maybe they weren't ready, right? But that doesn't mean they're not in your database. When you gave the estimate, they're in your database because you had to dispatch that appointment for the day. So it's in your database. That just builds up. It's humongous. And it's a big asset for your business, because if you ever go to sell your business, let's say in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the buyer is going to love the fact that you've got 15,000 contacts in your database over the last 15 years in business, right? Or however many you put in there. They're going to love that. It's a huge asset, right? Because now you can email market to every single one of those contacts, and you don't bother them. You just let them know you're still here. Hey, so there's just a lot of really huge, valuable points of building your database. So I just wanted to go over that. That's huge for building your business. If you start that from day one, or start that from right now, like just draw a line in the sand and say, look, I've got to get a database. I've got to put everybody in a database so that I have this down the road. It's going to organize your business. And quite frankly, it's the only way you're really going to be able to systematically and intelligently grow your business, because you're going to have data, you're going to have numbers, you're going to have people's contact information. Now you can hire that office secretary, right, to plug into your database, that knows how to answer the phone, enter leads into your database, dispatch crews, dispatch salespeople to go on appointments. Like, you can't grow without this, in my opinion, and not just pull your hair out, right? This just organizes your business, keeps everybody on the same page. So that's number 3, get a customer database software. Number 4, outsource marketing, right? Outsource marketing. So if you don't do it every single day, it's really going to bog you down. There's just a lot of nuances to your website, B, your Google Maps, Google My Business, or Google Business Listing as they call it today, your Google AdWords, which is called Google Ads account, your email marketing, right? Your social media. If you do direct mail, all of these things are going to help you build your business faster and more systematically, because now you've got a marketing budget. You're going to get things out there. People are going to know your brand. You're going to get more people seeing your business and calling you for appointments. Well, here's the thing. If you're doing all of that, or trying or attempting to do all of that, it's not going to get done correctly, because you've got a million other fires to put out in your business. You've got a million other tasks to do in your business. You've got to go clean up debris at a job that you did yesterday. You've got to go collect an invoice from somebody you did last week. They still haven't paid. You've got to go pick logs up on a job site that you took down 5 trees for. You've got to go get the truck serviced. You've got to hire people. You've got to interview people. The marketing is going to get pushed to the side, right? And so there's all these juggling things that you have to do. If you outsource that to a company that knows what they're doing, you're actually going to save money, because that company is going to know how to do it. They're going to know how to run everything more efficiently, get better results in less amount of time, and you're going to have somebody to lean on to do things for you. And that doesn't mean you have to hire us if you're a tree service business, although I think we do a fantastic job. But it just means that you're not going to have to do these things and worry and sweat about these things. You're going to have somebody else to handle that for you. And if you want to grow a business, I mean, the Small Business Association says you need to be spending around 5% of your gross revenue on marketing, right? Whether that's your online marketing, offline marketing, signs, truck wraps, whatever, right? So if you're doing $1 million a year as a tree company, that's $50,000 a year roughly. Like, we do this as a digital agency for tree service businesses. Like, we spend 5 to 10% of our revenue, maybe even 15% sometimes, because we're going to the trade associations. We are doing Google AdWords. We are doing SEO. We have a website. We do social media ads. We do all of that stuff, right? So we're spending thousands of dollars a month to get our name out there, which is the same as what a tree service business should do in their local community, right? And that way you get more people coming in. But the only way to do that right is to lean on professionals who know what they're doing to brand your company, A, and B, get inbound lead flow coming into your company, right? And so that's the only way to do it, is to outsource that marketing. Because look, when you think about it, you're just not going to do a great job of it. And then it's going to be put on the back burner, because let's say you have a problem with your Google ads, or you have a question about the charges on your Google ads, or your website goes offline. It's messed up. It's not working. Well, if you're trying to do all of this stuff yourself, it's just not going to get done. And how many customers are you going to lose because maybe they go to your website and it doesn't load? Wow, I wonder if these guys are in business, actually. Their website's not even coming up. So that's kind of crazy. Okay. Or they go to your Google My Business listing and you don't have any reviews. You need to be working on the reviews, which a marketing company will help you get those a lot easier. So there's just a lot of things I could go into down these paths to show you the benefits, right, of embracing using professionals to do things for your business. It's going to help you grow a lot faster, right? So if you try to keep everything in-house and do everything yourself, you're going to restrict how far you can go in your business, because you just don't have enough time or expertise in every little piece of your business, right? So, the marketing needs to be outsourced. It's something that's going to consume a lot of your time. It can easily consume 10 to 20% of your day, or 10 to 20% of your week. If things aren't working correctly, your phone lines aren't, the marketing's not going out. Ads are down, websites down, need to get changes, need to get this out, this and that. So it's just one of those things that if you don't outsource, it's going to create more headaches for you and your company along the way. So wanted to get that. So number 4 is outsource your marketing. Take that off your plate and let somebody that knows what they're doing take care of that for your business to grow your business. So that gets us to, so that's pretty much what I would say for that part of your, so that gets us into number 5, which is embrace change. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. I know we touched on this in one of the former bullets there, but I just wanted to talk about how you have to embrace change, right? You can't keep everything the same every day in your business for years and years and years. If you do, you're just not going to grow. Yeah, maybe you did a little more revenue this year than you did last year. Maybe your revenue is better than it was a couple of years ago, but you're not going to really be able to take your business to, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million, $10 million if you don't embrace change in your business and understand that other people have to be able to do things for your business, right? That's just a humongous thing that you're going to have to embrace. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, which is letting other people take care of job sites, have somebody else run a crew, hire an office manager, outsource the marketing. Outsource and get a customer database so that you can keep all of your clients in a centralized software that everybody can plug into in your business. All of these things are going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and they're also going to be something that you have to just change and spend the time to change it. But, once you do, it's going to literally take a big, huge monkey off your back, and you're going to be able to just move forward, take a deep breath, and know that that's being taken care of and being handled. Because if you don't do these things, you're going to be in the same place in 2 years, the same place in 5 years. And I don't know about you, but that's one of my fears in business is being in the same place next year as I was the year prior. That's not something I want to do, right? I want to get comfortable being uncomfortable, continue moving forward. I don't have to grow at lightning speed, but I want to make sure that year over year we're growing and, we're embracing change in our business. So that's kind of number 5. I think that that's super, super important. It's just understanding that things are going to change. I think the only, what is the term? It's like the only thing that is not changing is, I can't remember the way to say it. I'll think of it in a second, but there's a really cool term about embracing change. I'll think of it in a minute, but that leads me to number 6 is try new things, right? If you've constantly been doing things the same way, right? I see people that still have yellow notepads for their business, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're in the truck, you got to take notes sometimes, but, still doing things the old way, paper invoices, paper estimates and all that stuff is fine, but once you send everything to the digital side with one of these softwares like Arbostar or Jobber, it's so much faster. It's so much easier. You don't have to keep up with things. Everything's in one spot. You don't have to go, oh man, my notebook's in the other truck. It's not in this truck. Or, oh man, I left this at home. I don't have it. You've always got access to these things because they're plugged into your software. They're plugged into your database. And I don't know about you, but I like to minimize headaches in my business. And these things are going to help you minimize headaches. I think that's the whole thing here is minimizing headaches in your business. So hopefully this podcast episode, this video helps you guys. I just wanted to put this together because there's always going to be things that change. You got to try new things in your business. And if you don't embrace those things and you don't move forward and you don't make a change, well, then the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? And we all know that. We've all been there. We've all been guilty of that, right, in the past. So I just wanted to do this to let you know that these are things that you have to do to get comfortable in your business. If you have any questions, you can go to treeservicedigital.com if you want to talk to us about your marketing, outsourcing your marketing, or anything of that matter. Do that. If you're on the YouTube channel, subscribe to this channel. We get more content coming. Really, really good stuff coming up down the pike. And if you're on the podcast, listen to the audio. Just go ahead and subscribe to your favorite player there. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.